And we begin this bulletin with a Sunday treat for sky watchers across India. Well, there is a blood moon that's going to soon grace the skies. The spectacular celestial event, a total lunar eclipse is the longest eclipse visible in India this year and will last nearly 3.5 hours. During this striking event, the Earth will align perfectly and directly between Sun and the Moon, casting its shadow across the lunar surface and transforming into a glowing red-orange orb. And already, as you can see on your screens, in certain cities of India, that orange orb is visible. You see visuals of Delhi, Kolkata, Chennai and Lucknow, and there on your screens, the moon from all these cities as viewed by our cameras. The partial umbral phase of the eclipse has begun. While totality will kick in at around 11 in the night, this eclipse's totality will last for an hour and 23 minutes. These are the live visuals that you're seeing of the moon from different cities. So eyes are different, but the moon is same, as you can see on your screens as we are waiting for the eclipse to begin. Now, with its stunning red glow and long visibility, this blood moon is a must-see sky event. And not just enthusiasts, stargazers, photographers would want to see it, but also students and common men are going to step out of their homes and watch it. All you have to do is just step outside, look at the moon, gaze at the sky, and if the clouds are not there blocking your view, if the skies are clear, you will be able to see this beautiful moon right now, and the full eclipse, the total red moon, the blood moon as we call it, you will be able to see it around 11 in the night. So here on your screens, the visual of the moon from 4 different cities. As you can see, from Delhi, Kolkata, Chennai and Lucknow. But joining us right now is Ashutosh Mishra from Delhi's Nehru Planetarium. Ashutosh, how are the skies treating you right now? Have the clouds gone away? Is your view absolutely clear or not as yet?
It's very clear, very clear. In fact, the first glimpse that I see of the moon here on the projection using, the telescope. But more than that, I'll have a better images, live images of how the eclipse has already started. In fact, the first clarity and the clear view of the eclipse as and when it begins would be around 5 to 10 minutes onwards. In fact, if you see the first already, the shape of the curve that is initially is now being seen itself is the beginning of the eclipse, and it was anticipated around 10 p.m., 10:15 p.m. onwards. It will be quite clear, and that's exactly why it brings a lot of enthusiasts, the astronomy lovers, all here at the Nehru Planetarium in a huge number. In fact, if you see all these machines, the telescopes have been put on. So it is giving actually all the curious people from all over the national capital, NCR region, have come down here in the national capital to witness this historic incident. Of course, this being the biggest eclipse always brings astronomy. So while we see the debate between, the tradition, the belief, and of course, the scientific event that is unfolding at the moment that we are witnessing. For now, it's for the national capital NCR region, the weather was cloudy 30 minutes ago, but now because of looking at the prediction, in fact, it's freezing cold here. And if I could just speak to a few of these young enthusiasts who have come here, all the way from. So आइए आप लोग आए हैं देखने के लिए. देख लिया eclipse देख लिया, पूरा हो गया शौक?
Not yet.
Not yet? I think already started gradually. They said around 10-15. So how long you plan to be here?
Till it ends.
11:45. So of course, looks like we all have to be here till midnight. But it's an early phase already. I'll ask Kishan to just pan the camera towards up. And because now the sky is quite clear, we see the clarity of the eclipse that had started, and eventually it will be visible all across North India. Of course, Delhi, NCR, Haryana and Western Uttar Pradesh, and these parts, as when cloud is clear, it will be quite visible. However, rest part of Northern India remains very cloudy because of the weather predictions. But for now, it's giving an opportunity for the people in the national capital here at Nehru Planetarium, getting to see the live images of the biggest lunar eclipse at Nehru Planetarium, Anjali.
Right, absolutely. On our screens, we can see the visuals of the moon now sort of getting there on your screens now. You're right, Ashutosh. We can see a little bit of the moon getting blocked off now, a dark patch slowly creeping its way across that round orb, you know, that you very beautifully were describing earlier. But do tell us, you know, this sort of an excitement amongst the young people. It is nice to see that there are some aspiring astronomers or maybe people who are interested in space studies who have gathered over there.
So again, as I said, it's always a contrary and a conflict between people who have a different belief on the tradition as far as the eclipse are concerned, and of course people those who have a scientific approach. Since our ancient Vedic era in Yajurved, in Rigved, that we often read about, all these philosophies that was given by Aryabhat or Bhaskaracharya, Varamir, that was later followed by the East, by the Europe, by the West, Europe, be it the Copernicus or the Galileo. So eventually it all started these astronomical events and every philosophy that was given by them. And of course, let's get the visual. Now it's gradually growing, and as we say, the piece of pie that has been literally eaten by someone. And that's exactly why it always takes me to my childhood when we hear these stories of from Dadi Nani that look Chanda Mama Dur ke. And then of course it gives you also a darshan, the motive for the life, the positivity that moon also brings. And then, gradually grow in the young age. It describes the soul, it describes the music, and of course the love. Everything that moon has around in our life that gives you a message over the years. So with the growing age, we define moon and the principles around it in a growing phase of the life. But for the science, it's an astronomical event that unfolds sometimes in a couple of years. And these kind of incidents, when it happens like because when you're going to see a red moon literally, so that brings the the astronomy lovers, the people curious about astrophysics, or those who have the interest with the planetarium movement. And that's why we see all the planetarium, not only I'm talking about Delhi, but wherever they are making these projections in southern India, in western part, in Gujarat, in Maharashtra, perhaps it is bringing all these young enthusiasts. And what is more happy to see here that more than young people, I see mostly the kids who are very enthusiastic have come out with their family members. And there are multiple these telescopes that have been put upon them. That's giving them the very interesting events that it is unfolding. And in fact, I remember there are several occasions when there was a solar eclipse or the lunar eclipse, they were also putting out food stalls here. Because remember, in a tradition and a belief, when they say there is a Sutakal happening, people do not eat, we shouldn't be seeing it through naked eyes. Contrary to that belief, giving the scientific approach only to give out a message that these are only scientific incidents that's unfolding. It's a planetarium moment, and it has nothing to do with how you should see it. Of course, the solar eclipse we do not see through the naked eye. We use the polar glasses, and when it happens to lunar eclipse, like this is as beautiful as someone like a child eating a piece of that pie. Why should give it a miss when the science doesn't say so? Even the Vedic ancient those books, when have the principles of these eclipses that was later followed by Copernicus and Galileo's. When you say these beautiful moments, why to even give it a miss? And that's the message that the people give out, that eat. There had nothing to do. These the movements, the astronomical movements have nothing to do with what you eat, how you should see it, how you should eat it. So those are all just beliefs. So there has always been a contradiction and the debate larger over which principle to be followed. Is it going to be belief or is it scientific temperament? Anjali.
Right. Thank you, Ashutosh, for bringing in those details and also showing us the visual of the moon as it's slowly engulfed by the shadow of the earth itself. And the visual that you are seeing right now is from the capital city of Turkey, Ankara, where you can see a huge part of the moon has already been engulfed by the shadow, and the redness is clearly, strikingly visible to see. And soon visuals like these will be coming from different cities of India as well, and we will be able to see a blood red moon when a complete overtaking of the moon by the earth's shadow happens.